In today's discussion session, Faith and Fortune, Navigating the Moral Landscape of Gambling in Christianity. The gambling question has woven itself into the moral fabric, prompting believers to grapple with its implications. The dichotomy between chance and faith raises profound questions about the compatibility of games of luck with Christian principles. This discussion explores the multifaceted relationship between Christianity and gambling, delving into biblical perspectives, historical contexts, and contemporary debates. Biblical perspectives. To scrutinize the morality of gambling within Christianity, one must turn to the foundational text, the Bible. While the Bible does not explicitly address the act of gambling, it provides principles that can guide a Christian's perspective. Proverbs 16:33 asserts, "The lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord." This verse acknowledges the concept of chance while emphasizing divine sovereignty. However, some argue that this acknowledgement does not necessarily endorse all forms of gambling. One of the biblical tenets that pertain to gambling is the principle of stewardship. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, believers are reminded, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." This verse prompts Christians to consider how their actions, including participation in games of chance, reflect their role as stewards of God's gifts. Historical perspectives. Throughout history, the Christian perspective on gambling has undergone shifts influenced by cultural, social, and theological developments. Early Christian leaders such as Augustine and Aquinas expressed concerns about the potential for gambling to lead individuals astray from virtuous lives. In the Middle Ages, the Church occasionally banned games of chance, associating them with vices like greed and avarice. However, interpretations have varied, and not all Christian denominations have held uniformly negative views on gambling. Some Protestant groups, for instance, have been more permissive, viewing responsible gambling as a personal choice within certain bounds. The historical context, therefore, underscores the nuanced nature of the Christian stance on gambling. Contemporary debates. In the contemporary era, the rise of various forms of gambling, including casinos, online betting, and lotteries, has spurred renewed debates within Christian communities. Some argue that gambling, when pursued responsibly and in moderation, poses no inherent moral dilemma. Advocates for this perspective often highlight the entertainment aspect of gambling and its potential to contribute positively to communities through revenue generation. Conversely, opponents assert that the addictive nature of gambling, coupled with its potential to exploit vulnerable individuals, raises ethical concerns. The prevalence of problem gambling and its detrimental impact on families and communities has led many Christians to question the compatibility of gambling with their faith. Addressing the heart issue. Beyond the explicit biblical references and historical precedents, the essence of the Christian perspective on gambling lies in addressing the heart issue. Matthew 6:21 states, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This verse prompts believers to reflect on the motivations behind their actions, including engagement in games of chance. If gambling becomes a means of seeking financial gain at the expense of responsible stewardship, or if it leads to the neglect of one's moral responsibilities, it may be incompatible with Christian principles. Understanding the motivations. To assess the morality of gambling within a Christian framework, one must differentiate between various motivations. A casual poker game among friends may serve as a recreation, fostering social bonds and enjoyment. However, when gambling becomes an obsession driven by greed or desperation, it can lead individuals down a dangerous path. Proponents of responsible gambling argue for the importance of discernment in distinguishing between harmless entertainment and potentially harmful behavior. Drawing on principles of moderation and self-control, they posit that engaging in games of chance within reasonable limits can align with Christian values. Community impact. The communal aspect of Christianity adds another layer to the ethical consideration of gambling. Galatians 6:2 encourages believers to bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Suppose gambling negatively affects the community, either through increased social issues related to addiction or financial strain on families. In that case, Christians may be compelled to address these societal concerns. Considering the potential harm that widespread gambling can inflict on vulnerable individuals, communities, and the fabric of society, Christians may feel a moral imperative to advocate for responsible policies and practices in the gambling industry. My conclusion: in navigating the intricate relationship between Christianity and gambling, believers must grapple with biblical principles, historical contexts, and contemporary realities. While the Bible does not explicitly condemn gambling, it imparts wisdom on stewardship, moderation, and the motivations of the heart. Historical perspectives reveal the evolving nature of Christian views on gambling. At the same time, contemporary debates underscore the need for discernment and responsibility. The essence of the Christian perspective on gambling lies in understanding the motivations behind engaging in games of chance. Is it a pursuit of entertainment, a responsible form of recreation, or a problematic descent driven by greed and desperation? Addressing the heart issue, Christians can discern whether their actions align with the principles of love, stewardship, and community responsibility embedded in their faith. As believers grapple with the morality of gambling, the question persists: how can Christians, guided by their faith, engage with the world of chance in a manner that reflects the love and responsibility central to their beliefs?